let's
time
try
and
this
every
again.
point of its presence. It is all
But he
powerful,
said that I
all wisdom,
had no
and always
audio in the
present.
stream.
All thoughts and things are within itself. It is all in all. There is but one consciousness in the universe able to think, and when it thinks, its thoughts become objective things to it. As this consciousness is omnipresent, it must be present within every individual. Each individual must be a manifestation of that omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent consciousness.
Huh?
As there is
See, and
only
this is where I
one
start getting
consciousness
lost.
in the universe which is able to think, it necessarily follows that your consciousness is identical with the universal consciousness. Or, in other words, all mind is one mind.
All mind is
There is
one
no
mind.
dodging this conclusion. The consciousness which focuses in your brain cells is the same consciousness which focuses in the brain cells of every other individual. Each individual is but the individualization of the universal, the cosmic mind. The universal mind is static, or potential energy. It simply is. It can manifest only through the individual, and the individual can manifest only through the universal. They are one. The ability of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal and bring it into manifestation. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. Walker says, mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy, from which arises the activities called thought, which is the dynamic phase of mind. Mind is static energy. Thought is dynamic energy. The two faces of the same thing. Thought is therefore the...
I was told we had audio
force
problems with
formed
the
by
last video.
converting
I hope
static mind
that
into
was
dynamic
cleared up.
mind. As the sum of all attributes is
But
contained
also,
in the
I
universal
know
mind, which is omnipotent, omniscient,
it's gonna sound crazy
and
as fuck,
omnipresent. These
but
attributes must be
they don't
present
want
at
you
all
to know about
times in
this
a
shit,
potential
so
form in every
weird
individual.
shit happens sometimes
Therefore,
when
the
I'm trying to
individual
talk about
thinks,
this shit.
the thought is compelled by its nature to embody itself in an objectivity or condition which will correspond with its origin. Every thought is therefore a cause, and every condition an
Just
effect.
pay attention if you
For
can.
this reason, it is absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. All power is from within and is absolutely under your
We are
control.
all magicians.
It
man.
comes through exact knowledge and by the voluntary exercise of exact...
It comes through exact knowledge. We can go back to that example of the cheeseburger. The universe will give you exactly what you want if you know exactly what you want, okay? If you don't tell the universe, if you don't visualize the details, every detail matters. If you see yourself fucking playing basketball for the Boston Celtics, okay? That's a very vague vision. You understand me? Because if it's my vision, I'm playing for the Boston Celtics. I'm seeing myself in the TD Garden with the light shining down on the basketball floor. I'm seeing the floor underneath my feet. I'm seeing whatever shoes on my feet that I want to be, you know, representing that time. All right, moving forward.
principles. It should be plain that when you get a thorough understanding of this law and are able to control your thought processes, you can apply it to any condition. In other words, you will have come into conscious cooperation with omnipotent...
A bunch of fucking esoteric heebie-jeebie, but essentially what it's saying is you have a bunch of stuff, like, you know... Okay, this is gonna sound weird, so just stay with me here. You don't know what you don't know until you don't know that you don't know it, right? But on the flip side of that coin, you also know everything, infinitely, abundantly, everything. But because you haven't thought about it or brought those pieces into your reality or what have you. I know this sounds crazy, and I'm trying to break it down to like layman's terms because it's so simple. It was just over the years I would hear a piece and a piece and a piece and a piece of the puzzle, but I would never hear all the pieces of the puzzle come together. For example, I don't know. Yikes. Okay.
Law,
Moving
which is the
forward.
fundamental basis of all things. The universal mind is the life principle of every atom which is in existence. Every atom is continually striving to manifest more life. All are intelligent, and all are seeking to carry out the purpose for which they were created. A majority of mankind lives in the world.
That was important too. To carry out the purpose in which you were created. Okay, we all know what we were put on this earth to do. And maybe it doesn't seem like like, oh, that's stupid. No, because if I did, I wouldn't be living this life. You know what you want. You know deep down inside what you truly want with your life. You're gonna be a tennis player, or a movie star, or a wrestler, or a rapper, or whatever. You have it in you to do it, but you don't want to do it because you're lazy. And here's the deal. It's okay. I'm not like talking trash to you because you're lazy. I was lazy for 10 years. 10 years of my life is gone. Wasted. Gone forever. Because I was in this chasm of mediocrity, and I felt like I was below everybody, and I felt like I didn't matter, and I felt like this and this and this, and all that shit was real because I believed it to be so, and my reality was a fucking dingy nightmare because I believed it to be so. And the very second I said, hey, my life needs to change, I'm meant for more, I'm meant for better things, little by little, you don't notice everything right away, but it's little pieces, little things start happening, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm on the right track, all the wheels are in motion. It's like a fucking a clock, right? And it has the gears, all the gears in it, right? And in order for the clock to rotate, you need the 5 gears in place, how many ever so, whatever it be, to rotate at the same time, in synchronicity with each other, where they're supposed to be. Okay? And that's what's important, is sometimes we feel like we're not where we're supposed to be, but we're always where we're supposed to be. And especially if you're on like the verge of like, oh, you feel like some good stuff's been happening, but then you've been testing, you will be tested a lot. I get tested every single fucking day. And it makes me question everything, all this hard work, everything that I've like built in this short time after keeping everything compressed and being essentially buried in sand my whole life up until the last couple years of like learning like that that all these things that I was thinking when I was a kid, like, oh, I'm like, this doesn't, whatever's happening, it doesn't matter, whatever situation in my head, something happened, I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And I was always able to pick things out, and like I always knew when something wasn't right, and with people's energy, and I didn't know what it was called at the time, but like if a fucking drunk ass wife beater walked in the room drunk as fuck, that energy resonates in the room. Like I've always been able to sense that, like people's energy field, and like that sounds like esoteric to say that out loud. You can say feelings, because it's essentially the same thing. Your feelings are your energies, just tuned at a different frequency. Just think of it as if you're watching sports on channel 6 and you want to tune the frequency to another frequency so you get the other channel 7. You want to watch bowling now. Okay.
World without. Few have found the world within, and yet it is the world within which makes the world without. It is therefore creative in everything.
And also, I already told you, I'm where I'm at in this journey. I think I understand enough about it to fully believe enough to preach about it, I guess. Because if this wasn't real, if this wasn't, like, I wouldn't waste my time, wouldn't waste your time. I don't like wasting anybody's time at all. But I'm trying to help anybody that wants to be helped right now. Obviously, the financial side of that's not coming, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, help me with some money, help me with some money. Yeah, everybody needs some money. That part's not there yet. But when that's ready, like, I know there's a lot of people that are gonna get their increments up because of me. And on the flip side of that coin, that I'm gonna have those increments because, what do you mean, don't be a fool? Ooh, she's one of the, oh, she knows. I'm gonna get me killed or something, like, talking about this
Which
stuff.
you find in your world without has been created by you in the world within. This system will bring you into a realization of power which will be yours when you understand this relation between the world without and the world within. The world within is the cause. The world without, the effect. To change the effect, you must change the cause.
To change the effect,
You will
you
at once
must
see
change the
that
cause.
this is a radically new and different idea. Most men try to change effects by working with effects. They fail to see that this is simply changing one form of distress for another. To remove discord, we must remove the cause. And this cause can be found
I don't
in the
drink.
world within.
Gross. No.
All growth is from within. This is evident in all nature. Every plant, every animal,
Because of
every
what I'm talking
human
about,
is a
is
living
that
testimony to this great law.
I'm drunk
And the
because...
error of the ages
See,
is in looking for strength or power
that's
from
why
without.
that you were, like, talking about
The
that, because I
world
was
within
actually
is the universal
telling
fountain
these...
of supply, and the world without
So
is the
weird.
outlet to the
So
stream.
weird.
Our ability to receive
Very
depends
weird.
upon our recognition of this universal fountain, this infinite energy of which each individual is an outlet. And so is one with every other individual. Recognition is a mental process. Mental action is therefore the interaction
You're
of the
tweaking, bro.
individual
Nothing
upon the
happened. I don't know what
universal
you're
mind.
talking about.
And as the universal mind is the intelligence which pervades